My name is Sean Hart. I hail from the village of Lochmacrory in County Tyrone. Been a resident of Canada since 1974. Today I'm pleased to join with all my fellow Republicans and activists across Canada, and indeed others from around the world, to commemorate the 10 brave men who gave their lives in 1981 for the cause of Irish freedom on this, the 40th anniversary of their sacrifice. Our commemoration this year celebrates the Irish revolutionary spirit that motivated the 10 martyrs. We celebrate that spirit in song and in word.
There were anxious moments as supporters of Bobby Sands gathered outside the British Airways office on Bloor Street. Sands is demanding that jailed IRA men like himself be treated as political prisoners rather than criminals. And today's crowd came to support the 27-year-old Irishman who was gone without food for 56 days. The rally had barely gotten underway when a group of British loyalists arrived waving the Union Jack and opposed the IRA supporters. The two groups hurled insults at each other while police kept them apart. Michael Quigley is the secretary of the Irish Prisoner of War Committee, the group that sponsored today's rally. He says Bobby Sands would not be lying close to death today if it weren't for British intervention in Northern Ireland.
They're political prisoners. They're political prisoners because everything about the system that put them in jail is special, is political.
The hunger strike has a long history in Ireland, dating back centuries. It was used at various times by the dispossessed and disadvantaged to secure political and social change. Though hunger striking is not an exclusively Irish weapon against injustice, it has been used since 1916 by Irish Republicans in their struggle for freedom and social justice in Ireland and abroad. We acknowledge, honour and recall the sacrifice of all those hunger strikers in the cause of Irish freedom, including, most notably, Patrick Daly, Thomas Ashe, Lord Mayor of Cork Terence MacSweeney, Michael Gaughan and Frank Stagg. Bobby Sands was born on March the 9th, 1954. He was the first to refuse food on March the 1st, 1981, 1 week before his 27th birthday. He was elected on April 9th, 1981 in the by-election to fill the seat held by the late independent MP Frank Maguire, who had died just 5 days after Bobby had begun his hunger strike on March the 1st. The young Belfast man won the support of 30,492 voters, 10,000 more than British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher in her London constituency of Finchley, and with a majority twice as large. With full remission of his sentence, Bobby would have been eligible for release in 1984. Instead, Bobby chose to give his life for his comrades. Bobby died after 66 days on hunger strike on May the 5th, 1981. His son George's birthday was 3 days later. Francis Hughes was born in Balachi in South Derry. He was described in many circles as one of the most fearless and tenacious guerrilla fighters of the 20th century. British authorities described him as the most wanted man in the north of Ireland. He was 22 years old when he was captured in full military uniform in March of 1978. In spite of this, he was denied prisoner of war status and sentenced to life imprisonment. Francis was the first to join Bobby Sands on the hunger strike on March the 15th, 1981, and died 59 days later on May the 12th, 1981. Raymond McCreath was born in Camlough, County Armagh. This area would later become known as Bandit Country by the British, who for their own safety took to using helicopters to access the countryside. Raymond was 19 when he was captured in 1976, and at that time he had nearly 3 years of active service behind him. He was on the blanket protest for 4 years, in which he fortified his visits rather than wear the prison uniform. He only took his first visit in 1981 with his parents to inform them that he was going on hunger strike. Ray joined the hunger strike on March the 22nd, 1981, and died 61 days later on May the 21st, 1981. Patsy O'Hara was born in 1957 in Derry City. Patsy and Ray McCreath joined the hunger strike together. He was 11 years old when he and his parents took part in the big civil rights march in Derry on the 5th of October 1968. He was also an eyewitness to the Bloody Sunday massacre. He was held on remand for 19 months in 1975 and 76, but was later acquitted and released. Patsy was arrested again in January 1980 and sent to Long Kesh for 8 years. With full remission, Patsy would have been eligible for release in 1984. Instead, Patsy would not allow himself to be branded a criminal. He died on May 21st, 1981, after 61 days on hunger strike, the same day as Ray McCreesh. Joe McDonald was born in 1950 on the Lower Falls Road in Belfast. He was well known and a very popular man in the greater Andersonstown area. Joe had a reputation as a quiet and deep-thinking individual with a gentle, happy-go-lucky personality. He also had the ability to make friends easily. In 1971, he and his wife were driven from their home by a loyalist mob. He joined the Republican movement soon after the introduction of internment without trial. He was himself interned on the prison ship Maidstone in 1972 and in Long Kesh from 1973 to 1974. Arrested and jailed for a commercial bombing operation, Joe was sentenced in September 1977 to 14 years imprisonment. On May the 9th, 1981, Joe replaced Bobby Sands on hunger strike. 61 days later, on July the 8th, 1981, Joe gave his life for the love of his comrades. Martin Hurson was born in September 1956 and raised in Kappa, County Tyrone. Martin was arrested in November 1976. He sustained serious physical abuse at the hands of the RUC and was charged with possession of explosives. He received a 20-year sentence in November 1977, which he unsuccessfully appealed against on a number of occasions. He was then convicted based on another interrogation, after which interrogators were charged with assault. He spent 46 days on hunger strike starting on May 29th. He died on the 13th of July 1981. Coming 2 weeks earlier than might have been expected, his death disproved the assessment that the hunger strikers were not in danger until around the 60th day stage. As the young Tyrone man was dying, the vindictiveness of the prison authorities never abated. Though the family had been sent for due to a serious condition, Martin's brother Francie was refused entrance to the prison because he arrived after 10 p.m. He spent the night outside the H Block's gate as his brother Martin died inside. Kevin Lynch was born in 1956 in Port Village, County Derry. He joined the Fianna at age 14 and eventually he joined the IRA. He was arrested in December 1976 and charged with conspiracy to obtain arms. In December 1977, the Diplock Court sentenced Kevin to prison for 10 years. He joined the hunger strike on May 23, 1981 and died on August 1, 1981, 71 days on hunger strike. Kevin epitomised all that is good in a young Irishman, playing our national Gaelic games of hurling and football. He excelled at both and captained the Derry under-16 team, which won the All-Ireland hurling title in 1972. In 1981, the Derry County Board and South Antrim County Board asked for a minute's silence before the All-Ireland hurling semi-final between Galway and Limerick. Croke Park refused. It was fitting that their ungiven club's name, St Patrick's, was changed to Kevin Lynch's in his honour. Kieran Doherty was born in 1955 in the Andersonstown area of West Belfast. Kieran joined the Fianna and later the IRA after witnessing the internment of his neighbours in 1971. Kieran himself was interned without trial from February 1973 to November 1975. In 1978, he was captured and ultimately sentenced to 20 years. While in prison, he became a fluent Gaelic speaker. On May 22, 1981, Kieran replaced Ray McCreesh on hunger strike. He died after 73 days on August 2, 1981. In contrast to the attitude of the priest celebrating Mass at Kevin Lynch's funeral, Father Hansen's sermon demonstrated a fundamental understanding of the issues at the core of the hunger strike protest. While the presiding priest at the Lynch funeral refused to wear his vestments at the graveside because of the presence of a firing party, the priest at Kieran's funeral recalled having visited Kieran on the 13th day of his fast and remembered it to be a cheerful event. He went on to recount Kieran's words when he asked him if he would consider coming off the hunger strike. Kieran replied, "Look, Father, I would not give up. If I did, I would go back to being a criminal status. I am not a criminal. I never was and never will be one." Recalling those words at the funeral of Kieran Doherty, the priest said, "Basically, I had to agree with him." He finished off by saying, "Kieran was very much his own man. He died quietly, determined, serene and dignified." Like Francis Hughes, Thomas McElwee was born in Balachi, South Derry. They were cousins, and at the age of 14, Thomas joined the Fianna and later served together with Francis in the IRA. Thomas had been in prison since December 1976, following a premature explosion in which he lost an eye. His younger brother Benedict was arrested in the same incident. Thomas received a 20-year sentence in September 1977. He began his fast on June the 8th, 1981, and died 62 days later on August the 8th. Thomas McElwee's dying wish was to be buried beside Francis Hughes. The graveside oration was given by Danny Morrison, then Sinn Féin Director of Publicity. Thomas McElwee described by his friends as being sincere, easygoing and full of fun. He was also intelligent and determined, something Morrison captured in his remarks on the young volunteer. I know that the McElwee family will understand, just as the families of the other dead hunger strikers will know what I mean when I say that their son was invincible from beginning to end, in life as well as in death. Michael Devine was born in 1954 in a hut in Springtown Camp on the outskirts of Derry. He too was witness to the Bloody Sunday Massacre. Michael was arrested in September 1976 following an ILA arms raid in County Donegal. He received a 12-year sentence in June 1977. He spent 60 days on hunger strike from June the 22nd and he died on August the 20th, 1981. On the death of Michael, his brother-in-law Frankie Macaulay said, "One thinks 10 men, how many more will have to die? We have ours now over us. Next week it will be Big Lawrence's people waiting for the same thing. Then the Devlin family after that, and another boy will go on hunger strike, and then another. They'll never break them." Mickey was denied a Christian burial by the Catholic Church, but at his grave a lady piper played the H-Block song and a bugler sounded the last post. With full remission, Michael would have been scheduled for release in 1982. Instead, he was the last hunger striker to die on August the 20th, 1981. Please join us in a moment of silence for these 10 brave comrades and brothers.
The Rhythm of Time, a poem by Bobby Sands. There's an inner thing in every man. Do you know this thing, my friend? It has withstood the blows of 1,000,000 years and will do so to the end. It is born when time did not exist, and it grew up out of life. It cut down evil's strangling vines like a slashing, searing knife. It lit the fires when fires were not, and burned the mind of man, tempering leaden hearts to steel from the time that time began. It wept by the waters of Babylon, and when all men were a loss, it screeched in writhing agony, and it hung bleeding from the cross. It died in Rome by lion and sword, and in defiant cruel array, when the deathly word was Spartacus along the Appian way. It marched with what the tilers pour, and frightened lord and king, and it was emblazoned in their deathly stare as e'er a living thing. It smiled in holy innocence before conquistadors of old, so meek and tame and unaware of the deathly power of gold. It burst forth through pitiful Paris streets, and stormed the old Bastille, and marched upon the serpent's head, and crushed it neath its heel. It died in blood on buffalo plains, and starved by moons of rain. Its heart was buried in wounded knee, but it will come to rise again. It screamed aloud by Kerry Lakes as it was knelt upon the ground, and it died in great defiance as they coldly shot it down. It is found in every light of hope. It knows no bounds nor space. It is risen in red and black and white. It is there in every race. It lies in the hearts of heroes dead. It screams in tyrants' eyes. It has reached the peak of mountains high. It comes searing across the skies. It lights the dark of this prison cell. It thunders forth its might. It is the undauntable thought, my friend, the thought that says, I'm right.
I'd like to thank you for your ongoing support and for the opportunity to address you today as we gather to remember our patriot dead, the hunger strikers of 1981. 40 years ago, the actions in the Long-Keist jail changed Ireland. They made a new future, a peaceful and prosperous future that we have today. And it was paid at a terrible cost. 10 young men lost their lives. Countless others lost years in jail, including the women in Armagh. But for their sacrifice, we now have peace. We now have progress. And we now have the ability to build on their legacy, to deliver a new and united Ireland. And that is the job at hand. They say that the music you listen to when you're 12 or 13 stays with you for the rest of your life. In that case, the soundtrack to my life as an activist has been the 1981 hunger strikes. I'm proud that I now work and have friends who were in jail at that time, who are in living memory of that struggle, and who remain dedicated to the job at hand. The 1981 hunger strikes were only successful because of international support. From people from across the States, from Canada, from across Europe, all recognised the injustice that prisoners were facing and the reality that they were political prisoners, caught in a political conflict. So that you are part of the success of winning the 5 demands, as they eventually were. But we have further to do. The only fitting monument and tribute to the sacrifice of the hunger strikers, to the women of Armagh, and the countless thousands who lost hundreds of years to jail, is a new and united Ireland. That is a job that is at hand. That is a job that we need to see through. And I hope you will continue to support us as we do that and find ways of raising Irish unity across Canada. Thank you for your support. Thank you for tuning in to watch this commemoration. And also thank you to all of those who've been through the jails, all of those who've struggled, for your sacrifice, that have made a better today and will see a better tomorrow. Gora Míle Mágat and more.
This concludes the formal portion of this year's 1981 Hunger Strike commemoration. Please stick around for a very special musical tribute to the memories of the hunger strikers and to the spirit of Irish resistance that their sacrifice represents, with songs performed by musicians from all across Canada.
Hello everyone, my name's Pat Chessel, coming at you from Vancouver, BC. And I'm going to play a song written by Bobby Sands for you. This is one called Back Home in Derry. Well, in 1803 we sailed up to sea, out from the sweet town of Derry, for Australia bound if we didn't all drown in the marks of our fetters we carry. In the rusty iron chains we cried for our wings, our goodbyes we left in sorrow, as the mainsails unfurled, the curses we hurled on the ancient docks of tomorrow. At the mouth of the foil bid farewell to the soil, as down below decks we were lying. Old Doherty screamed, woken out of a dream, by a vision of old Robert dying. As the sun burned so cruel, we dished up the crew. Down Connor was down with the fever. 16 rebels today, bound for Botany Bay. How many will meet their steamer? I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. Well, I cursed some hell as I mouth up the swell, and our ship danced like a moth in the firelights. White horses rode high as the devil passed by, taking souls to Hades by twilight. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43, and our comrades we buried each morning. In our own slime, we were lost in a time of endless night without dawning. I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. Well, Van Diemen's Land is a hell for a man to live out his whole life in slavery, where the climate is raw and the gun makes the law, neither written nor interest for bravery. 20 years have gone by and I've been in the barn, my comrades ghosts are behind me. Well, the rebel I came and I'll die the same, on the cool winds of night you will find me. I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry.
Hi everyone, my name is Jackie Sullivan and this is my good friend Carla Pilgrim. We're delighted to be here for you this afternoon. We're coming from my living room in St. John's, Newfoundland, and we're going to be singing an incredibly profound song by Mickey McConnell called Only Our Rivers Run Free. Hope you like it. When apples still grow in November and blossoms still bloom on each tree, when leaves are still green in December wandered her hills and her valleys, and still through my sorrow I see a land that has never known freedom, and will only our rivers run free. I drink to the death of her manhood, those men who would rather have died, and to live in the cold chains of bondage, to win back their rights were denied. Oh, where are you now that we need you? What burns where the flame used to be? Are ye gone like the snows of last winter? And will only our rivers run free? How sweet is life, but we're crying. How mellow the wine, but it's dry. How fragrant the rose, but it's dying. How gentle the wind, but it sighs. What good is in youth when it's aging? What joy in the eye that can see? When there's sorrow and there's sunshine and flowers, and will only our rivers run free? Will only our rivers run free?
Here's Grace. As we gather in the chapel here in old Kilmainham jail, I think upon these last few days. Oh, how they say we fail. From our school days, we were told that we must yearn for liberty. But all I want on this grey morn is to have you here with me. Oh, Grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They take me out at dawn and I must die. With all my love I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. And I know it's hard for you, my love, to ever understand the love I felt for these brave men, the love for this dear land. But when Parry called me to his side down in the GPO, I had to leave my own sick bed to him I had to go. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They take me out at dawn and I must die. With all my love I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. Oh, and as the dawn is breaking and my heart is breaking too, as I walk out on this gray morn, my thoughts will be of you. So I'll write some words upon the wall so everyone will know I love so much I had to see his blood upon the road. Oh, grace, just hold me in your arms and let this moment linger. They take me out at dawn and I must die. With all my love I place this wedding ring upon your finger. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. There won't be time to share our love, for we must say goodbye. Beautiful, sad Irish song. That was Grace. Thank you very much.
Hello there, it's Kevin Evans here from Evans and Doherty. Very, very honoured to be asked to participate in the commemorations. And I'm going to sing a song called The Ballad of Kieran Doherty. He was born in Belfast, in Anderson's town, brought up without fear or respect for the crown. His heroes were rebels, they were living in pain, and soon he was part of the Belfast Brigade. God keep you, Kieran, we pray every night, and bless all the young men who keep up your fight. When England is vanquished, united will be. Your name will remember when Ireland is free. Gave elections for people's just choice, but cold-hearted persons would not lend their voice. Those luckies in Dublin, they are forever shamed. By letting them kill you, they too share the blame. God keep you, Kieran, we pray every night, and bless all the young men who keep up your fight. When England is vanquished, united we'll be. Your name we'll remember when Ireland is free. The hunger strike's over, but the struggle goes on. To join Ireland's martyrs, 10 brave men have gone. Don't be disheartened, don't weep for the cause. They did not give up or accept England's laws. God keep you, Kieran, we pray every night, and bless all the young men who keep up your fight. When England is vanquished, united we'll be. Your name we'll remember when Ireland is free. God keep you, Kieran, we pray every night, and bless all the young men who keep up your fight. When England is vanquished, united we'll be, and your name we'll remember when Ireland is free. And your name we'll remember, Kieran Doherty. When Ireland is free.
This song is sometimes referred to as Skibbereen, Dear Old Skibbereen, Farewell to Skibbereen, Revenge for Skibbereen, whatever you want. It's an old song and was first published in 1880 in Boston in the Irish Singer's Own Book by Herbert Hughes, who said that it had been collected in County Tyrone. So that's about all I know of it. Another awful, awful time in Ireland. The famine years. Oh, Father dear, I often hear you speak of Erin's Isle. Her lofty scenes, her valleys green, her mountains rude and wild. They say it is a lovely place wherein a prince might dwell. Then why did you abandon it? The reason to me tell. Oh son, I loved my native land with energy and pride, till a blight came over all my crops, and my sheep and cattle died. The rents and taxes were to pay, I could not them redeem, and that's the cruel reason I left old Skibbereen. 'Tis well I do remember that bleak November day, when the bailiff and the landlord came to drive us all away. They set the roof on fire with their cursed English spleen, and that's another reason I left old Skibbereen. Your mother too, God rest her soul, lay on the snowy ground. She fainted in her anguishing, seeing the desolation round. She never rose but passed away from life to mortal dreams. And that's another reason I left old Skibbereen. Oh, you were only 2 years old, and feeble was your frame. I could not leave you with my friends, for you bore your father's name. I wrapped you in my coat of more, in the dead of night unseen. And I heaved a sigh and said goodbye to dear old Skibbereen. Oh, well, I do remember the year of 48, when I arose with Ireland's boys to battle against the fate. I was hunted through the mountains like a traitor to the Queen. And that's another reason why I left old Skibbereen. Oh, Father dear, the day will come when on vengeance we will call, and Irishmen both stout and tall will rally unto the call. I'll be the man to lead the van beneath that flag of green, and loud and high we'll raise the cry, revenge for Skibbereen. And loud and high we'll raise the cry, revenge for Skibbereen.
My name is Kieran Winter, and I'm currently in Montreal. Maga Keir og face, brooding o'er the oldest grey, this Blackmas William stormed your place and drove you to the fern. Grey said victory was sure, soon the firebrand he'd secure, until he met at Glenmalure, Fiach McHugh O'Byrne. Curse and swear, Lord Kildare, Fiach will do what Fiach will dare. Now Fitzwilliam, have a care, fallen is your Starlow. And up with halberd, up with sword, on we'll go for by the Lord. Fiach McHugh is given the word, follow me up to Carlow. And see the swords of Glenameal flashing o'er the English pale, see all the children of the Gael beneath the Burns banner, a rooster of a fighting stock, would you let a Saxon cock rot upon an Irish rock? Fly up and teach your manners. Curse and swear, Lord Kildare, Fiach will do what Fiach will dare. Now Fitzwilliam, have a care, fallen is your Starlow. And up with halberd, up with sword, on we'll go for by the Lord. Fiach McHugh is given the word, follow me up to Carlow. And nothing Sligo to Clamore flows a stream of Saxon gore, and Greer's Rory Ogamore, and sending loose the Haddies. White is sick and grey has fled. Now for Black Fitzwilliam's head, we'll send it over to Ripon Red, to Liza and her ladies. Curse and swear, Lord Kildare, Fiach will do what Fiach will dare. Now Fitzwilliam, have a care, fallen is your Starlow. Up with halberd, up with sword, on we'll go for by the Lord. Fiach McHugh is given the word, follow me up to Carlow. Sean Laptgarmer Huggett, Chucky Erla.
A Falcha Roa Carja, Smisha Hugo Strani, hello and welcome. And we're here at Ireland Park. and the 40th anniversary of the Hunger Strikers. Ireland Park here, a shared experience. And to think it's 40 years since 10 men gave up their lives for just a few requests. Unthinkable. And I wonder in 2021, would that happen? I don't think the world would stand by and let it happen like it happened in 1981. It was a seminal moment in Irish history when 10 men gave their lives. And this song I'll dedicate to my cousin, Joseph MacDonald, known to the world as Joe MacDonald, who gave up his life on hunger strike. Oh, the night was dark and the fight was over. The moon shone down O'Connell Street. I stood alone where brave men perished. Those men have gone, their God to me. My only son was shot in Dublin, fighting for his country bold. He fought for Ireland and for Ireland only. The harp and shamrock, green, white and gold. Well, the first I met was a grey-haired father searching for his only son. I said, oh man, there's no use searching, for up to heaven your son has gone. And the next I met was the dying rebel. Kneeling low, I heard him say, God bless my home in dear Cork City. God bless the cause for which I died. My only son was shot in Dublin, fighting for his country bold. He fought for Ireland and for Ireland only. The harp and shamrock, green, white and gold. Sláinte from Ireland Park and the great city of Toronto.
Hello, my name is Darcy Broderick and we're coming to you here from Broderick's Pub in St. John's, Newfoundland. And I have to say that I'm absolutely honoured to be part of this very special anniversary. I'd like to do a song written by Patsy O'Halloran called The Galtee Mountain Boy. I joined the flying column in 1916 in Cork with Sean Mylan into Prairie Wet and Green, arrested by Free Staters and sentenced for to die. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. We went across the valleys and over the hilltops green, where we met with Denny Lacey, Sean Hogan and Dan Green, Sean Mylan and his gunmen that kept the flag flying high. Farewell said the Galtee mountain boy. We tracked the Wicklow mountains. We were rebels on the run. Though hunted night and morning, we were outlaws but free men. We tracked the Dublin mountains as the sun was shining high. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee mountain boy. I'll bid farewell to old Clonmel that I never more will see, and to the Galtee mountains that oft-times sheltered me. The men who fought for their liberty and died without a sigh, may their cause be ne'er forgotten, said the Galtee mountain boy.
In 1798, my country was in chains. In Wexford town, the harp's sound rang out the tone for freedom. Oh, Ireland, I hear your call, and the harp still ringing clear. We will not give in, and we will not fall till we answer Ireland's call. Then in Dublin town, 1916, we heard the call again. In the dark of night, we rose to fight, to release her from the chains. And if Connolly were alive today, he would surely say, fight on. So in our heart we must do our part until liberty is won. There you go, Shanty.
And still today, in a Belfast grave, lie the souls of many dead. And what difference is there now from them? For they still are Ireland's best. Oh, Ireland, we hear your call. We will rise and never fall. We will sing our song and we'll still fight on till we answer Ireland's call. Oh, Ireland, I can hear your call, and the heart still ringing clear. We will not give in, and we will not fail till we answer Ireland's call.
I want to thank everybody who helped produce our commemoration this year, and I also want to thank everyone watching for taking the time to remember the sacrifice of 10 brave young Irishmen 40 years ago. A commemoration in Canada would not be complete without acknowledging the families living in the Toronto district directly affected by the 1981 hunger strike. Patsy MacDonald, brother of the late Joseph, and Tiernan O'Reilly, the nephew of Thomas McElwee and Francis Hughes. We hope you will commit to working with us in the coming year to help win the prize of a united and free Ireland, the best way that we can pay tribute to our martyrs. Go raibh míle maith agat.